Okay, today we're going to cook something called a sea cucumber meat. It's not sea cucumber you think it is. Can you show this one? It's called sea cucumber meat. It's frozen. I defrost already. Look, I'm gonna open it. Warning, sea cucumber is not typical food for a lot of people, so it might causing discomfort if you're not used to it. And let me open it. Excuse me. Okay, first of all, you want to put in the running water. And let's see. This actually is not the whole sea cucumber. This is the muscular part of sea cucumber. Imagine a huge sea cucumber. This inner part makes sea cucumber move. And the outside like a, sea cucumber like this. I usually clean it, wash a little bit. There's a couple ways to cook it. One way, typical Chinese people like to use a hot pot. So you can just quickly using hot pot, dip it, and eat it like crunchy. However, my family, both Rebecca and my wife, does not particularly like hot pot. So I'm going to clean it really nicely, and I'm going to stir fry it. Before you stir fry, this kind of mushy, not good. Boil the water. Okay. This is what is called? You put the water in the water, then take it out. What is called? In English words, I don't know. So you take some of it. Ooh, look at this. No, I shouldn't say disgusting. Maybe I put some of it because my pot is not that big. By some of it, I mean hands full. After putting water, normally they're going to solidify, not become gooey, disgusting looking. They will look a little better. To prevent overcooked, after you quickly boil it, what you're supposed to put in the ice water. However, I usually tell people cooking is supposed to be something simple, so I just skip it. You can see what it looks like is like this. It's raw. Please don't eat like this. However, as all the seafood, you do not want to overcook it. The worst thing you can do is overcook it. Undercook it, it's not that bad actually. I would love to bring it to boil, so I know that's temperature, so it will kill all the germs. So next time, but seems takes a while to boil. Ooh, look at this. I think it's starting boiling because anyway, I'm going to stir fry it also. So let me try the texture. By trying it, I didn't say I want to eat it. Oh, look, tastes good. See, you can. Don't try this at home. My hand is special made, special material, heat resistant. Please don't try it at home. So I take this out. Look, I want you to see the difference. Don't you see the difference? Okay. Let me wait to bring the water to boiling again. Excuse me. Look, this is much more manageable. It has certain shape. I'm not going to cut pieces. In Chinese, we call it bite size. Chinese food is different from the Western food. We usually don't use forks. knife at the table. So most of the stuff should be bite-sized. So if we're using chopstick, cannot cut them on the table. So we just, pick it up and put it in mouth. So usually the bite-size. Actually, I'm going to make it a bite-size. Depends on people's mouth, but I usually think that this is a good bite-size. Okay. But this is not. Maybe okay. The cleaning is totally redundant. I'm gonna make some spice. As you know, seafood. I want this has some texture, so instead of cutting pieces, I turn 90 degrees. Don't do. Great job, Stu. Okay. Ginger. Take a skin off. No skin.
Garlic. Okay, this is something special. It's called bamboo shoots. No, bamboo roots. And it's got from China, then put in lots of salt and preserve it. So you can feel it. Actually, it's pretty soft. It's very soft, but some part I don't like. It has this hard texture.
Okay, let's recap what we use. This is a shredded pork. I want to add some flavor. Pork has this strong flavor that I'm going to use. I marinated already. Now I'm adding some starch, so that way you can see. Marinated pork with the starch. Good job. Here you go. And this is a mushroom. I like this kind of mushroom. And scallion, ginger, garlic, bamboo roots. That's the sea cucumber. Did you notice? We try to make similar pieces. Okay, let's turn everything on. Usually, it's supposed to be hot temperature. However, I don't particularly like the smell that it causes, so I try to minimize that. To minimize that, two things I want to recommend. By the way, I don't get commission for this. This is the salt. I put some salt in the oil. That way decrease the splash. So I put a little bit of salt. That's it. And I like to use avocado oil. Because they have a high temperature to evaporate. So that way they can sustain high temperature. It doesn't give you smoke. I always make a broth. This is a pork bone broth. So they give you the rich, strong flavor. Even it's rich, strong, but it does not overcome the seafood texture. It's very nice. So I always use it instead of water. We don't use water to cook food anymore. We use broth. If you cook at home, any gadgets, I always recommend you have this is a thermometer. Far restaurant. You can test the temperature. See? You can see the temperature. I usually try to reach 300 degrees. Okay, so I know the temperature. Or I can just feel it. Also, in the COVID season, you can test it on temperature without touching anything. Recommended. You don't need it too hot because I don't want this to be, you know, overcook anything. You just put a little bit on in the oil. I wait patiently. So see, you can see it's not much splash. I don't like the smoke come out of it. So it's clean. Take your time. Cooking is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. See? Take your time. Saute a little bit. It's just a pork. They're going to choose a nice texture. When it's starting changing the color, you can see, right? You can see the color is starting changing. There's a certain sequence Chinese food that people like. I know the Italian always like to put the garlic in first. However, Chinese people like to put the scallion first. Put the scallion in. You can smell it, beautiful smell. Then you put the scallion. No, that's the garlic. Now wonderful. You can see the pork starting changing color. Pork, unlike beef, it's very important to cook it thoroughly because it's not as safe as beef. Beef you can eat medium rare. Pork you always want well done, inside out. So cook it nicely. Then garlic. All these things does is give you a nice aroma. And make sure the pork is all cooked thoroughly. You don't want the raw pork. Mushroom at a high temperature give you a very nice aroma and it's easy to cook. Now you can put in. Okay. What you can see, because the seafood is almost done, it's already cooked. So you want this kind of nice, consistent, ready to eat this level. See, you have all this flavor in. Usually I wait until mushroom turn soft. See, right now you can see the mushroom still hard. Okay. I think that's almost done. See, the mushroom becomes soft, right? And also we're going to like simmer it for 5 minutes. So that's about the time. Sea cucumber. Like I said before, the worst thing you can do to the seafood is overcook. You do not want to overcook. Usually you don't want to put too much strong flavor, but I'm not quite sure how people like the fish filling. So I put some sauce. That's just spicy sauce. If you have any spicy sauce, will be fine. See, a little bit spicy, not too much spicy. You don't want too much spicy. Depends on how well you cooked it before. You want to put a little bit of broth in, like If you think you didn't cook it very thoroughly, you want to put more broth, so cook longer. I think I cooked it pretty well last time, so I'm going to just simmer for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes maybe even. Let it simmer. I want to show you I'm cooking tofu on the side. If anybody interested in how to cook tofu, I will show you on next video. Beautiful tofu, almost done. Oh, by the way, for the seafood, you always want to put a little bit of sugar. I personally like a brown sugar. It gives you a little bit more flavor in just the sweet. So I put some sugar in. Oh my God. It tastes better than lobster. I love lobster, so nothing tastes better than lobster. I was wrong. You know what I need? God, that's a lot of sea cucumbers. That's what I do. Let me present sea cucumbers. Cheers. Until next time.